what is happening for the Jewish people, to allow this to happen to children and civilians of all ages in Gaza, for whatever reason, is unconscionable and unthinkable. And I ask you Jews everywhere, all over the world, to spend some time alone and think, is this acceptable and sustainable? How could it be done to you and your ancestors, and you turn around and you do it to someone else?
I really feel Mandy's anguish. He spoke to Jews, but I want to speak directly to anyone who still believes Israel's actions in Gaza are justified. If that's you, it's most likely because the media you trust has lied to you. And I'm going to prove it by exposing 10 of the biggest lies you've been sold, carefully packaged and delivered by the very outlets you depend on. But before we dive in, here are 2 short video clips you need to see. The first one is a profound message from a world-renowned Jewish Holocaust survivor whose grandparents died in Auschwitz. And the second video shows the staggering destruction in Gaza.
When in my adolescence, I first found out about the Nazi genocide of my own people, literally, almost every day when I would think about it, my head would spin. Literally, my head would spin. I think, how is this even possible? And I feel like I'm back with that adolescent, almost naive incomprehension about how this, what we're witnessing, can possibly be going on. And now we're seeing the slaughter of civilians and children and kids being amputated without anesthetics and being starved. And the press has always lied, but the lies have never been more egregious, and the silence has never been more deafening than it is today. And Palestine is the issue of our time, where you stand on that issue tells you whether you've got a heart that's even open and functioning. Because you see, in the Western world, we value knowing with the mind, with the intellect. And with the intellect, you can make all kinds of arguments about who started what and who's responsible for what. But to be even asking as to where the truth lies means that you completely cut off from your heart and from your guts. So there's ways of knowing that combine the gut and the heart and the mind. And as somebody said, without the gut and the heart informing the mind, we're nothing but genius-level reptiles. And those genius-level reptiles are running our world right now.
This is North Gaza, or perhaps more accurately, this was North Gaza. After 22 months of intense bombardment from Israel, it now resembles the bottom of a fire pit. According to the UN, 92% of homes in Gaza are either destroyed or damaged, and the destruction is so widespread it could take 21 years to rebuild.
This was Gaza before the bombs started falling, a place of life where normal lives were lived. There is no sign of that normality now. This is the new normality for the Mohra family and others. Both Odeh and Mohammed have acute malnutrition on top of a neurological disorder. They need specialist milk and medicine. Without it, their lives are fading away.
This child, Odeh, is 4 years old and he weighs just over 4 kilos. Mohammed is 3 and he's 5 kilograms. I call on the world to help my children get treated, or at least get them milk and nappies.
This is one of the explosions which destroyed Gaza, targeting the Turkish-Palestine Friendship Hospital, the only specialist cancer hospital in Gaza. This is what's left of it now. This was the Al Wafa Old People's Home. We can't say what's become of its residents. This was a primary and secondary school. We can't say what became of the pupils. Many of the other ruins were homes. We can't say whether those that lived here survived or are among the 60,000 now dead. Under international law, it is a war crime to target schools, hospitals, and other civilian sites.
This video is just the beginning. Here, I'll lay out the list of lies you've been sold and share a couple of short clips to spark your interest. But this is only the introduction. In upcoming videos, I'll break down each lie in detail, backed by reports from independent journalists you've likely never seen, along with testimony from prominent Israeli historians. I'm not asking you to blindly believe them, or me. Instead, after hearing their words, take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, and ask your own heart, is this true? And then I encourage you to explore further, do your own research, and come to your own understanding of the truth. Here's the list of lies, counted down in reverse, from number 10 to number 1. Each step reveals a deeper layer of deception, and by the time we reach the top, these lies will completely transform what you believe about everything that happened before, during, and after October 7th, 2023. Number 10, the only people starving in Gaza are the hostages. 9 reports of the IDF shooting. Civilians at aid stations is fake news. 8 supporting Israel's actions in Gaza is good for Jews. 7 you will be blessed if you support Israel. 6 the U.S. stands with Israel because it's the moral thing to do. 5 Israel kept bombing because Hamas refused to free the hostages. 4 Palestinian civilians weren't targeted, just collateral damage. 3 Israel had zero plans to destroy Gaza. Before October 7th, 2 Hamas's October 7th attack caught Israel completely off guard. 1 Israelis good, Palestinians bad. Stay with me through this series, and I promise, your perspective will never be the same. I'll leave you with 2 short clips that reveal the Israeli mindset.
The 3 principles which enable us Israelis to live so easily with this brutal reality. A, most of the Israelis, if not all of them, deeply believe that we are the chosen people. And if we are the chosen people, we have the right to do whatever we want. B, there were more brutal occupations in history. There were even longer occupations in history, even though the Israeli occupation gets to quite a nice record. But there was never in history an occupation in which the occupier presented himself as the victim. Not only the victim, the only victim around. This also enables any Israeli to live in peace because we are the victims. But the third set of values is the most dangerous one, and this is the systematic dehumanization of the Palestinians, which enable us Israelis to live in peace with everything, because if they are not human beings like us, then there is not really a question of human rights. And if you scratch under the skin of almost every Israeli, you will find it there. Almost no one will treat the Palestinians as equal human beings like us.
Rabbi Ovadia Yosef. He is the most revered rabbi of the last generation. He holds, again, that the Arabs have to be fought. The non-Jews cannot be left. They must be eliminated from the land. Okay? He says, the purpose of Gentiles. What is the purpose of Gentiles? To serve Jews. He's one of those who espouses this idea. The purpose of Gentiles is to serve the Jews. Goyim, Gentiles, us basically, were born only to serve us. Without that, they have no place in the world. Their sole function of the Gentile in the world is to serve the people of Israel. In Israel, death has no dominion over them. With Gentiles, it will be like any person. They need to die, okay? But does God give them longevity? Why? Imagine that one's donkey dies. What happened? You lost your servant and your wealth, all right? The Gentile is the servant of the Jew, all right? This is why he gets a long life, so he can work for the Jew. Why do we need Gentiles? They work, they plow, they reap, and we will sit like an effendi and eat. That is why Gentiles were created. When did he say this? October 2010. Weekly Saturday night sermon